So today we're gonna watch a video on Elon Musk talking about SpaceX, how we're gonna colonize Mars, and we're gonna be interplanetary civilization. Isn't that cool? You're gonna see this in your lifetime. Well, if you're younger, if you're older, maybe not so lucky because he said in 20 years we can accomplish this. But as we know, it's never true what he says about the timelines of his works. So here's my reaction.
When you think about the question of where are the aliens, which I get asked a lot, this is like the Fermi paradox. Where are the aliens? And I've not seen any evidence that there are aliens on Earth.
Oh, come on. He's the richest man. He's so smart. He has all the information from his SpaceX, and he says there is no aliens. How are you gonna explain that all civilization depicted aliens? Some spaceships, bizarre objects in Giza. It looks like helicopter. It looks some kind of spaceships. How about 15th century painting? Something in the sky there.
A lot of people think there are aliens on Earth, and I'm like, great, I'd like to meet one,
Come on, we all know Mark Zuckerberg, or maybe he's an AI robot, who knows, but he's an alien. What you talking about, Musk? There are aliens mixed with the humans.
For a while there, when I was getting my green card and everything, it said alien registration card. I'm like, okay. But this question of where are the aliens is, I think, a very profound one, because I'm aware of no evidence of aliens whatsoever, which means that
Lying.
I think we're probably alone. And if you look at the history of Earth, like how long has Earth been around? Assuming that physics is correct, the universe is about 13.8 billion years old. Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. When you think about how old is civilization, I think the right measuring point for civilization, in my view, or a good measuring point, would be the advent of writing. So the first writing is generally considered to be the ancient Sumerians. Where are they now?
Compared to universe, damn, it's nothing. We are almost like a second here.
They died out, but about 5,500 years ago, it was archaic pre-cuneiform. In fact, I suggest it's like an interesting rabbit hole to read about the history of writing. So if you consider, say, like, okay, civilization, I think if you don't have writing, you kind of need writing for civilization. It's only been around for like a little over 5,000 years out of 4.5 billion years that Earth
Holy God, only 5,000 years. We are lucky that we are alive and conscious, I think.
has been around, and the 13.8 billion years of the universe. So all of human civilization is basically the blink of an eye. It's like just a fraction. It's nothing. And I think that probably means that consciousness is incredibly rare, and perhaps fleeting. It may not last for very long, because otherwise we would have.
It is rare, but there are some really crazy dumb people. So sometimes consciousness is not so good. Sometimes you even look at some creatures and you think they are smarter. Naturally.
I think we would have seen aliens, some kind of sign of aliens. I think the most likely explanation is that.
Ah, come on, there is aliens. How people around the world are telling the same stories that they were abducted by little gray aliens, or that we know already some races of aliens like reptilians, gray aliens, tall grays, the Pleiadians.
Consciousness is so rare that and does that consciousness actually extend to another planet? Does that consciousness extend to another star system? I mean, ultimately, if we're able to become a spacefaring civilization, a multi-planet species, and ultimately a multi-stellar species, and go out there and explore all these star systems, I think we may find that there are many long-dead one-planet civilizations. And as you've heard me say before, we don't want to be one of those lame one planets.
Our universe is so big, of course there are civilizations somewhere. It's 100%.
Civilizations. I mean, we want to be a multi-planet civilization, ultimately be a multi-stellar civilization, be up there among the stars. Like, make science fiction not fiction forever. Kind of make Star Trek real. So that's why I think that there's a high urgency to making life multiplanetary. Because this is the first time in Earth's 4.5 billion year history that it's been possible to extend life or consciousness beyond Earth. And we've got to do that while
Hell yeah, we're multiplanetary gonna be soon.
Civilization is still strong. So that's the overarching goal of the company, is extend life sustainably to another planet. Mars is the only option, really. And to do ideally before World War
Yeah, it's enough fighting between each other. Let's conquer the planets.
III, or some kind of bad thing. The key thing is that we need enough people and enough tonnage on Mars such that Mars can survive and continue consciousness even if something would happen to Earth. Now, I still think, well, obviously, I'm not talking about abandoning Earth or anything like that. We want Earth to be as good as possible for as long as possible, but there are certain things that may be outside of our control. So we want to just get Mars to be a self-sustaining civilization as quickly as possible. And I think this can be done in around 20 years. And this, giant.
So yeah, that's very exciting that SpaceX gonna make us travel to another planet. Can you imagine in our lifetime, maybe not 20 years, but more like I said, because if you're young, you're lucky, but if you're older, maybe you won't see it. If we engineer our rockets like this kind of aircrafts, then we're gonna have a problem and we won't go nowhere in 20 years.
They're both gone.
God damn. And it's only an aircraft. So what do you think? When this gonna happen? If it even gonna happen? Will we succeed to go to Mars and other planets? Yeah, of course, it's just time a question.